The Peliot says something very scary. If someone hears profanity and is silent, they also bear this sin. And the Peliot brings a story that happened during his time, that there was an entertainer, a batchan, an entertainer, that it would generate laughter at social gathering. And the way that he made people, laugh was that he would speak profanity. He would speak non-clean things, very, very common. And nowadays also, which is, you look at all the comics, the stand-up comics, they also speak a lot of profanity, a lot of vulgar speech and inappropriate speech, and he would cause laughter. When the time came at the end of his life, says the Peliot, and he was very sick. He was one step in the next world, and he was unconscious for several days. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, one night, he opens his eyes, he stood up, and he started screaming. And he started screaming, "Woe unto me! Woe unto me! What's happening to me?" And people, started coming around him and says, "What's going on? What's wrong with you? You're unconscious." And he says, "Do you not see what's going on?" He says, "Look all around." He says, "You don't see these like huge figures, these like black figures that they were holding these bottles." He was explaining that they were holding these bottles that were made out of leather, and it was filled with fire. And he said, these bottles are being ready to be poured in my mouth. And he said there's all other kinds of harsh punishments that were coming up, against me. And he started explaining to the people around him, this is all because I spoke in profanity. I didn't speak clean. And levity. And he went on to like crying and screaming and that. And eventually, people heard about this. People came to visit him, and he would relate to them when people come in and be like, "You're also in my position. You came, you listened to my speeches, to my comic routine, whatever you want to call it, and you didn't say anything. And you too are going to drink from this leather cup of like fire." And this, he kept on continuing screaming for 3 days and 3 nights, until finally he put his hands in his mouth. He opened it as wide as he possibly can, and he started shouting and screaming, throw in the fire." And as this was happening, his soul departed and he went on to the next world. When everybody started hearing about this, people started doing tshuva and all be careful on how they, and how they spoke. Now we go back to see here the power of speech and how careful we have to be. Going back to the Kav Yashar, the Kav Yashar says that from all this you can deduce how much harm can come if you speak like this in a shul, specifically in a shul. Imagine you speak in a holy place, a place where you daven, a place where you learn. This, if you speak like this in a shul, the Zohar says in Parshas Truma that woe is to the one that speaks in shul. He has no portion in the God of Israel. He has no portion in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And this is especially true if he speaks words of mockery, of lies, and derogatory speech in the shul. When people are not careful and they speak about this, says the Kav Yashar, this causes the Shechina to depart from Klal Yisrael. And not only that, this is the result of many shuls that were destroyed was because of this derogatory speech that was spoken in the